Hey guys, back for another video. We did that video yesterday. I'm gonna try to not be boring today, and that's kind of hard when you're doing technical stuff. But I watched the video I put on yesterday. Didn't get any comments. I got 10 or 12 views and 4 or 5 likes. But I had my girlfriend watch it, and she doesn't trap, and she had some questions. She was kind of lost right off the bat, and I kind of wanted to gear these videos for new trappers, new fur handlers, and we're going to get into fur handling here soon. We're working on either getting a camera system so I can do it, but it's hard to hold your phone and handle beavers on the table. So tonight what I wanted to do was I just kind of wanted to brush up on last night's video, and I'm sure you guys, if you watched the full 20 minutes last night, I'm hoping I didn't leave you with wanting to eat a bullet with how boring it was. But I think some of this stuff that we went over and we're going to go over are pretty important for new trappers. Trap maintenance and trap preparation before the season can make a big difference in your success on the trap line. And like I said, you can catch fur and hold fur right out of the box, traps right out of the box. But being proficient and actually consistent can be quite a challenge in the trapping world, and especially if you're new at it. Everybody says start water trapping if you're new, and it builds your confidence. It's a little bit easier to do. I've always been a land trapper. I've always loved land trapping. I do water trapping also, but for some reason canine trapping's always been something special for me. So I wanted to put a video out there breaking that down and get it on how to get your gear ready, which is some of the most important things, kind of like sighting in your rifle. If your rifle's off, you're not going to hit your mark. And if your gear is off, you're going to miss a lot of animals. So it's also important for the animals to where you're catching them right. We can do a lot of damage out there, and we get a lot of negative stigma from anti-trappers and always in state legislation fighting for our rights to trap. But I'm going to touch on some stuff tonight that maybe last night I didn't clarify, and I felt kind of bad because my girlfriend watched the video and said that as a non-trapper, as somebody that hasn't trapped before, she was lost from the first minute because she didn't know the terminology. I don't want to go through and make a video right now unless somebody requests it on types of traps, parts of traps, stuff like that. I'm hoping that if you're into trapping, you've got your steel, that you have an idea on what gear you're running and what the traps are and what you're aiming for. So I'm gonna make a video now. Hopefully I'm gonna try to keep it not too boring and not too long, man. I don't want you guys bored out of your minds, but we're gonna go through some of the things and touch base on some of the things that I think I should clarify from yesterday. I was gonna do a little bit on fur handling today on a beaver. I just finished up a beaver, but I think right now this is a little bit more feasible and to do with just me, and I'm just using my phone. So bear with me. We'll go over some stuff. You guys leave some comments. I don't know. Like I said, I got like 12 views yesterday, and it's only been up since 9 o'clock last night. So 12 views and 4 or 5 likes, no comments. And I don't know if I'm just missing the comments, if I haven't figured out if I just can't find them, or if anybody's commenting. So even if you guys want to do just, hey, testing this out for you, just leave a comment so I know that I'm at least doing it right. But all right, well, let's go over some of the things that I managed to not go over yesterday. And like I said, bear with me, it's my phone. I'm gonna put this on my bench, and I might jump a few times. I had some work done on my tattoo, so I have a pretty sore forearm today. But so yesterday, I want to keep this, we're already at 5 minutes, so I don't want to bore you guys too long. But yesterday we talked about the MB450 550, and that was the reason I made the video. I made the video because I wanted to show guys how to adjust the pan tension on those. And like I said yesterday, I don't know if it was just me and me being dense that I couldn't figure that out. I consider myself a pretty intelligent guy. But it's the pans on the MB450s, if you saw the video yesterday, don't have a screw to tighten down. Excuse me, I'm still fighting that cold too, guys, so bear with me. Excuse me. So you can't tighten the pan tension. We went through that yesterday. Watch that video. It's 20 minutes of video. But there was some things that I went through that, like I said, I wanted to touch base on, okay? So degreasing. I brought up degreasing yesterday as one of the first things you got to do when you get your traps out of the box. For you new guys, and I'm gearing these videos to newer trappers or guys that are having a hard time, or gals too. It's great to see the women out there. Hopefully you're getting your girlfriends and wives and daughters and sisters and all the ladies out there. It's great to see them out there too. But degreasing, when the traps are made at the factory, they leave a very heavy duty grease and oil on them, okay? That's the grease that I was talking about when you got to degrease them. When you pull them out of the box, your hands are going to be all black and slick from messing with them. That's the grease that we need to remove. Like I said yesterday, Dawn dish detergent, leave them out in a creek in the mud. I don't like to leave them just out. I've had guys say, hey, just leave them out in your yard for 3 months. The reason I don't like to do that is because they rust uneven. Grease leaves some parts or isn't as thick on some parts as it is on other parts. So, which rusting is debatable too. Some guys don't rust their traps. They use this new chemical, liquid metal, I think it's called, or liquid jacket or something. I can't quite remember, guys. I didn't like it. But I've had people absolutely swear by it. They love it. I don't know if it's just, like I said yesterday, the old school in me, where I just like waxing and dyeing my traps. So, best thing to do, get them off. Power wash them, use Dawn dish detergent, stuff like that. That's what degreasing is, what I was talking about, okay? Another thing that we went through was the boiling and waxing. I did have some questions. I was talking to a trapper the other day, newer trapper, and he was talking about how do I boil and get all the fur and hide from feet. Like if you look at this trap, I don't know if you can see it right in the middle of the jaw there, there's still some fur, okay? He said, how do you clean that all off if you're not doing it by hand? I said, borax. You want to use borax. Be careful, it's corrosive kind of, and that's what I use. I pour borax in my drum of water, and I boil it all with that. And I went through all that stuff yesterday on how to boil your traps, so I won't bore you guys on it again today. But when I'm boiling them, let me clarify. The first boil I do to get them ready for the season is clean water and borax, okay? Don't put borax in with your logwood crystals, all right? Clean water and borax, empty the water out. I like to hose my traps off. That borax breaks down all that old wax if they're older traps, and also gets all that mud and crap off of it. So the first boil you're going to do for your trapping season is clean water and borax, all right? Then you're going to do your logwood crystals and water and traps, okay? So that was another point I wanted to make, was that you don't just throw these traps I used last year, just throw them in your logwood crystals and boil them, and they're scent free. That's not how it works, okay? Just make sure you get that extra wax off and you get that mud and that grime out of it. And the best way to do that is borax, and then hose them off real good or pressure wash them. So that being touched on, the other thing we talked about was the swivel points yesterday. And talking to Mama Bear last night, as I affectionately call her, or the old lady. Somebody actually said, don't call her the old lady, that's rude. And I said, that's her nickname, she loves it. But anyway, center swivel points, okay, is very important. A lot of your newer traps, when I talked about this, I made it sound like all the traps are set off center. A lot of the traps you get nowadays, newer traps like these, the MB550s and 450s, are center swiveled anyway. When I was talking about center swivel, if you inherit as a new trapper, you inherit great grandpa's traps that were up in the barn, or you go to a yard sale, or you're an antique store, or an old trapper's getting out of the business, you're going to have them a lot that look like this, okay? They're going to be off center, or they're going to be in this hole here. All right, you want to put that in the center. You want to get those centers swiveled. Okay, that's going to help retain your foxes and your coyotes inside, because when they are offset, they can pull offset, and when they jerk back and forth, they're pulling offset off center. You want that trap centered on their foot, fighting against right down through your earth anchor, basically in line. All right, so that's what I was talking about. The old lady said, hey, put some visuals in. I said, okay, I'll put some visuals in. We're hoping to make some of these good videos, and we're hoping to keep this going. Like I said, you guys leave comments. We're already at 10 minutes, man. It goes fast. So we got the swivel points. Yesterday I made a comment about centripetal force. Coyote starts from one side of the other, runs to the other side of the catch circle, and uses centripetal force. That's not correct. It's kinetic energy, okay? He's using, I'm sorry, scratch that, reverse it. I called it yesterday, I called it kinetic energy. It's not kinetic energy, it's centripetal force. He's using the inertia from his body to rip his feet out, okay? So I didn't want you guys quoting something different, right? So one of the things we talked about yesterday a ton was pan tension, all right? For you guys that are just starting out, pan tension, I didn't explain it because I get caught up as a trapper. This is kind of common sense for me. And like anything, it's only common sense if you've been doing it. So that new kid trapping, pan tension's important. Pan tension is the amount of pressure it takes to fire your trap, okay? For foxes and coyotes, a good all-around pan tension is right around 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. As you trap, the more you trap, you'll be able to feel it when you fire your trap by hand. But as I pointed out yesterday, you have your pan tension tester here, okay? This lets you know where you're at so you can adjust your trap, okay? So that's important, pan tension. There's 3 things I want to touch on right now, and I'm going to try to keep it to that because it's already at 12 minutes, and like I said, I don't want to bore you guys. There's 3 things that we need to make sure you guys are paying attention to as new trappers. After you've gotten your new traps, maintenance and preparation for your season is important, okay? Pan sway, pan tension, and pan creep are very important. All of these can affect your catch. Foxes are absolutely incredible at feeling any type of wiggle. And when I do the trapping videos in the fall, or maybe I'll do some mock ones this summer, I'll show you what I mean about bedding. But if there's any type of wiggle when it's in the ground, or the pan wiggles at all, they're absolutely amazing at hooking with their feet and flipping these traps over and leaving them there for you to find in the morning, okay? They won't fire it. They'll just flip it and leave it. You'll find them fired too, but it's amazing at how often they'll flip these things and leave them if you don't bed them properly, or you have that pan creep. Another thing also is your pan cover, and we'll get into that in the fall when we start doing videos on actually setting traps. If your pan cover has got like a bubble to it, a pan cover is just a screen or wax paper, depending on where you're living and what you're doing. But the screen, if it's bubbled up and they go to step and they feel that creep, they'll actually take their nails. And I've got it on video, and I've also got it. You see the leftover, but they'll take that and they'll actually scrape that pan cover off, and they'll leave your trap completely bedded, but that pan cover will be scraped off to the side. All right. So again, back to 3 important things: pan creep, pan tension, and pan sway. So let's start out with pan tension. Like I said, pan tension is the amount of pressure it takes to fire the trap. Pan tension on these type of traps, I'm going to fire this off. It might be loud. Try not to get dust all over you. So pan tension. This right here, if you look, it's hard to tell in the light, but there's two posts. You can see a post on each side, all right? Let me try to use a pen. So you can see a post here and a post here, all right? These come up, and the pan is right here in the center. You're going to see this on your trap. This screw is what adjusts your pan tension on these style traps, all right? When I get these out of the box, tighten this down all the way, okay? It bends these 2 posts in, okay? The actual steel posts. Once you've tightened it all the way down, make sure you don't forget to back it off, okay? You're going to back it off to get your 1.5 pounds, excuse me, of pressure. What you do when you tighten those two posts down is you alleviate the pan sway. See how this wiggles back and forth? That can actually be felt by a fox if he steps on it wrong, all right? And guys, you're gonna have trappers argue and say, "Oh, the chances of that are slim." You're absolutely right. The chances can be slim, but it does happen. So why take that chance? All right, we want these things as tight as we can get them and make everything the same, so we know what we're dealing with. So that pan sway is what we want to get rid of. Okay. And you're only going to be able to do so much. Some of that pan sway is going to disappear once this is set because the dog on the bottom of the pan is going to help. But I'm telling you right now, that pan sway is bad. You will miss animals from it, okay? So try to alleviate or try to get rid of that. On these style, if you look at this, there's no screw, and this is what I touched on yesterday. I was talking about pan tension and screws, but I didn't have anything to show you new trappers, okay? See how this doesn't have any screws? This goes right on that elbow or that bar of the springs, okay? That runs all the way through the springs, all the way through. And you're going to see that on your traps if you buy these type, all right? The only way to get pan sway out of these that I found and I like is to bend. I don't know if you can see it. Try to get it in a light. You can see how they come in. See how they come in there? Bend these out a little bit, okay? Be careful. Don't bend them crazy. Just bend them out a little bit. And what that does is they're straight right now. When you do that, you bend them out a little bit. It doesn't allow them to go back and forth, okay? And it helps stabilize that, but it also doesn't affect the pan tension, all right? So that's how you alleviate the pan sway. On this, the pan tension, we touched on, I made the video yesterday on the MB450 550s, bending the dog on this one. Pan tension on these styles with the screw right here, that's your pan tension. You're gonna have to tighten it and loosen it as you go. Don't forget when you wax these things and you go to the first day you go to set these the steel in the ground, you're gonna have to wiggle this, okay? And you're gonna have to take a screwdriver or your Leatherman and kind of break it free. Remember to be scent free. Try not to get your hands all over it. Don't be handling them, but break that screw free and wiggle this free every time, okay? And every time you catch an animal, reset the trap, fire it once, reset it again, and then bed it. All right, that's your pan tension. Pan sway. Now pan creep. All right, we're at 17 minutes. I don't want you guys too bored. So pan creep. Pan creep is the up and down without firing, okay? I brought a long spring in here just so you could see. And I'm going to set it so you can see this. And it's hard to, I feel bad because it's easier to teach people in person because you go over it and there's no question about it. But pan creep is, if you watch this pan, see how far down that has to go? Now it's stopped. But see this? And it doesn't fire the trap. They can feel that, okay? The foxes can feel that. There's an old trap. The foxes can feel that. When they go to step down, they're real dainty-footed. If they go to step down and they feel that creep, they're going to pull their foot off, okay? You're going to have a lot of misses or toe catches. So you want that creep gone. How you do that, all right, is on any trap that's night latched, the night latch alleviates that problem because of the fact that night latch is like a hair trigger, okay? So if you've got a trap that's night latched, the only thing you've got to concern yourself with is the pan being level and the swaying and pan tension. The creep on the creep on these, you're not going to have any because the night latch is like hair trigger. When you get these long spring, this isn't the ones I use, but the pans are the same. So when you get this, if you look, you see how much, get my big head out of the way, you see how much right here, there's a distance right here, okay? You got to file that down. File that down so it's just a little bit, okay? Be careful, don't go too far because when you wax them, they won't stay set, and every time you go to set in the field, the thing will dry fire on you. But you just want to leave about as much as a night latch, and honestly, I can't give you a measurement. It's not too much, but You want to file those down. You'll see some of these things where the pans are really long, okay, and you could step on a pan and go forever because the distance out here, if you're on the end of the pan, it travels. So file that down. Then you're going to file this down, okay, the dog. The dog, where it meets under the pan, you're going to want to file the underside of it, okay? So it's just a sharp point on the front. That is going to give you your least connection, your least physical connection between the two. So it's going to fire a lot easier if you file those two down, okay? When you go to wax, or once you wax them and you go to set, you may have to take a file or a screwdriver and kind of put it in the center in there and clean that wax out so it'll stay set. Like I said, don't go too far. That's how you get rid of your pan creep. That's important. If you don't do that, like I said before, those foxes, when they step down, and coyotes too, when they step down, they're gonna know. They're gonna feel that sinking, and they're gonna pull their feet off. They may get caught. You may miss them completely, or it may be enough. And this comes from experience. It may be enough to where it creeped and then they just flipped it over. They pull their foot. They're like, oh, what the hell is that? And they flip it over, okay? So pay attention to those. Watch more videos, guys. If I confused you or if I didn't make sense to you, watch videos. Always reach out. Look for more information. Try to learn, okay? Pan tension, pan sway, and pan creep are very important. Proper preparation, like I said yesterday, proper trap maintenance is important. But all this stuff is going to help you. It's not going to make you an amazing trapper. It's going to help you. It's all in what you want to put into it and how much you want to learn, and go from there. If you guys have any more questions or any questions, please feel free to comment. Like I said, I'm going to do these videos. I don't know if anybody's watching, but I've got all the time in the world and figured I'm successful enough at trapping to pay it forward a little bit. Like I said earlier, get the family out there, get the kids and the wives out there, and the girlfriends and daughters. My son caught his first otter a couple years ago, and caught his first fox and coyote a couple years ago, and he's 9 now. So there's nothing like seeing a kid's face when he walks up to a long-haired critter bouncing in a trap. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was kind of a long one, 22 minutes. I know it's kind of dry. I was in the Marine Corps, so I know all about sitting through long speeches where it's the same old stuff. But if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to comment. And if you have any suggestions, or if you think I'm completely wrong, start a conversation. Feel free. Don't hesitate to look up other information from other trappers. We're all out here to do the same thing, enjoy the resource, get our kids out, and protect a heritage that is a dying breed. And I guess tomorrow or next day, maybe I'll try to put on another video. We're working on a video for handling itself. Talking about traps can get kind of dry and boring, but for you new trappers, it's important. Don't ever put the importance of proper trap maintenance to the side. So here's to you guys. Hope you guys have a good season. I know seasons in most states are still going, and hope you guys have tight chains and prime fur. Have a good night, guys.